And I wondered what you feel the most important qualities are in being an analyst, in becoming and continuing to be an analyst.
You have a sense for the truth. And you have a real sense for the truth in relation to yourself. And be prepared to know or to try to find out what's going on and how things are hitting you. Because only that is going to enable you really to face what's going on in other people.
You have to know yourself, don't you? And we can never really know ourselves enough, I think.
Is psychoanalytic intuition. It certainly can increase and be trained, because intuition is also based on experience, that things come to you more easily, but also there is, I think, some, whether due to early experiences or to other things, some knocks you could have more or less.
It's something about imagination, something about an ability to move one's mind in different directions.
I suppose for the qualities to be the analyst, I would include one of capacity to have and understand passion. We wouldn't be able to be objective and truthful to ourselves in analysis and able to maintain the proper setting against all the pressure. If deep down we didn't have a very passionate commitment, because there's so many ways of doing it which are easier, quicker, leading to wealth. It takes some passion to stick with it.
Well, Bjorn once said, if you've got no stomach for anxiety, he told us in our vows, you're in the wrong profession. so there's something standing anxiety.
Analytic work where you can't see, you can't touch, you can't prove, and you're constantly working with the uncertainty of and the difficulty of, in fact, still having doubts yourself, allowing yourself to have doubts.
More listening and less interpretation until it really feels that the patient is nearly there themselves. Right. And then wait a little longer in case they're going to say it themselves explicitly, but if they don't, then they're just nearly there then. Because then they can hear it, and if it's too soon, nobody can hear it.
A certain confidence, a confidence both in oneself, but also confidence in analysis.
You need a lot of courage, because so often I'm doing so many supervision now, the analyst almost knows what goes on, but it would upset the patient or this or that. So that's a very important quality.
What I'm interested in is not just the words, but why the patient is talking in that way to me at that time, and whether that won't be indicative of the way we can help him most, you see. And I think that is what has been developed rather well here. And always when one does seminars or lectures abroad, you can see how important the awareness is that for abroad, that we've got something about this, about following stuff in detail and recognizing the importance of the relationship between analyst and patient. And I notice again and again people comment on this, and that's, I think, why we become popular with people coming from abroad. Yes. Because people can feel that's something which you can get hold of. This is not theoretical. That you can feel and smell and hear, if you like. And it's very important.
I think it's a very serious training, and you have really to work hard. Yeah. But it is broad, it is thorough, and the whole climate at the Institute of Psychoanalysis is a dedicated, it's a group of dedicated people. Yeah, of course it's not perfect, and there is still quite some tension, but life doesn't go without tension, so
working on it.
yeah. And I think there is much more honesty now, in a way that people also can know much more from each other. I think there is more possibility to I mean, with bias. I'm sure when I speak about Kleinian ideas, or some Kleinian speak about us, it's all a bit of a fantasy. What we think about the middle group, when you are not the middle, is also always a bit of a fantasy. But on the whole, there is a rapprochement and a desire to talk with one another. And I feel I've learned a great deal from the other two groups.
How do you see the future of psychoanalysis in the UK?
Speak of the world in the UK.
The world?
No, I mean it's not only in the UK, future of analysis in the world. Well, I have a rather pessimistic view, but just to beware, because in old age people become more pessimistic. They know they're going to die, so they think the world is going to disappear. And one has to beware of that. But actually, I think in our culture is so anti-mind and violent attack on the mind.
Yes.
Because our minds may not go along with the policies of the rich and mighty and imperialistic ones. So there is everywhere an attack on the mind, everything to be changed into figures, numbers, and the whole, I think, analytical ethos is very much in danger.
And the demand on us is, if we want to be included in the psychiatric world, we have to prove, and we have to use the sort of methods that are used in science in general, which don't happen to be applicable. We can't do that. We haven't got the microscope. We've got an analytic session. And we have our, we have our own psyche, our own mind, in order to make the observations. So it's all subjective and it's all relative. And we're into uncertainty principle and relativity theory if we use our methods. And the demand on us is to prove in ways that... So I don't think we'll ever satisfy that demand. And the minute people do, I think they're on, from our point of view, shaky ground. That they're leaving out essential bits.
So much anti-analysis now that one does have to deal both with that and the difficulties with patients.
And it is, I think, a bit of a fighting moment for psychoanalysis, really. But, the pendulum swings, and now it's all quick fix, CBT, give us a manual.
Yes.
And that's just the way you can't do psychotherapeutic work that will have a long-term effect.
There is something so fundamentally right about analysis. Whatever it goes this way or that way, that you can't destroy it. It's kind of indestructible.